So you got married in February of 1962. How long was it before your first child came along?
Oh, she came along pretty quick. And Deanna is now, what, 45? And she's a neat gal. She really is. She was, we wanted children, and as many of them as we could have. Bob was older than me, and he loved children. In fact, that was one of the things that attracted me to him, was how much he loved his family. And he had a sister with a little girl who was 3, and when we were dating, he would talk about calling them on the phone and talking to his little 3-year-old niece who was back in Kansas at the time. And I thought that was wonderful, because he was so close with his family, and I knew he wanted children. And so it was neat, it was exciting. And Deanna came along in September, and we had then Denise almost 3 years later. But we ordered boys and got girls. Bob wanted
boys' names.
We had boys' names. We had the boys' room picked out, all the rest, and in that game, you take what you get.
Did you have any favorite toys when you were a child?
Well, my favorite toy has always been trains. My favorite things are trains. As a matter of fact, I even, when I was finished high school and even went to college, I still caught a bus one evening and went to Roanoke, Virginia, to talk to the Norfolk and Western about getting a job with them to become a locomotive engineer, because I was very fascinated with trains and have always had a love of trains. As a matter of fact, sitting here in the space where we are right now, if you look around, you can see over there on the wall a picture of the train coming into Blacksburg. That train is no longer there. The place is no longer there where the train came in, as the Blacksburg Town Hall sits at that location.
It started, and the troops were trying to regroup. Where did your outfit then go?
Back at a certain corner, our officers were there, and our trucks, as I say, they were all mixed up and messed up. And when they'd see one of our trucks coming, they'd tell them to go this way, and another some of them went this way. Well, the ones that went one direction, they went back and tried to reform the battery and the division. And the ones I was in, it was just pure chance that what I was in, they sent us to a roadblock. They decided there was an intersection there that there was no one there to protect it, and they thought it was going to be a valuable corner someday. And so I imagine there was probably maybe about 100, maybe not that many, from my battery, maybe from my whole battalion, stopped at that corner. And we only had 3 howitzers left, and they set them up as best they could, and we started digging from foxholes to protect this corner. And other outfits would come along and see what we were doing, and pretty soon there would be a half-track pull up with multiple machine guns on it, and then some truck would pull up with anti-aircraft guns on it, and then pretty soon we had a few tanks helping us, and pretty soon we had a line of foxholes out facing what we thought would be the enemy. And all these tanks and trucks were pulling up behind us like this, and we were out here in front of them. And sometimes these tanks would get a call from whoever their boss was, and they'd take off somewhere, and then some of them would come back, and so our backup was fluctuating. But we held the corner there, and if we thought there was somebody out there, then they'd say, fire, And here we were with our 30 caliber carbines, and but right over our heads was all this barrage of tanks and multiple machine guns firing, and so I don't think our carbines did much damage, but these guys behind us, they were really, if they see some movement over in the woods, well, they were really wiping that place out.